We're still in the Financial Inclusion for Women Empowerment G20 conference here in Sun City. And with me, I'm with Sis Precious, who are allowed to introduce herself. Precious, can you please introduce yourself?
Thanks for having me, and is it good afternoon? Yeah. So my name is Precious Schulte Brinke, and I'm the Senior Manager for Social Impact and Sustainability within the Central Europe, Middle East and Africa region at Visa. And within this role, one of the things we're looking at is how are we helping to empower individuals, communities and small businesses, because we do believe that, you know, when small businesses, individuals and communities are included or are participating in the digital economy, it helps, it does good, and it helps economies thrive. So yeah.
I hear that what Visa does already, you've touched that part. I want to ask, because I'm seeing there's a lot of Visa banners around and exhibitors with your background or backdrop. So what is the role of Visa in this meeting?
So we are one of the sponsors. We are one of the sponsors of the G20 Financial Inclusion and Empowerment Women Empowerment Conference. And one of the reasons why we really decided to be involved in this is because women, small businesses and women are the backbone of the economy. And you find that, the stats have been, the last 2 days, a lot of stats have been shared just in terms of the challenges that women face when it comes to their entrepreneurship journey, when it comes to them accessing capital, when it comes to them lacking social networks that also enables them to get access to opportunities, which also looking at the lack of access to markets. So really for us, participating in this conference ensures that we are creating that platform. We are also bringing the women entrepreneurs that we have worked with along in the journey, so that their voices are also included when policy is being created around how to ensure that we are advancing financial inclusion for women.
So most of the exhibitors that are saying they were supported by Visa, they said they got to be part of Visa or supported by Visa through the She's Next program, which I would like you to talk more about. Also the one that you have with TUT.
All right. So our She's Next program is a global advocacy program looking at how are we enabling women to gain access to capital. It also includes capacity building and also mentorship and business coaching. And this is really critical because sometimes we might just focus on the capital aspects, but at the end of the day, women need to create sustainable businesses that will outlive them. So hence that addressing some of the skills gap that we do find are existing. And also what the program also does, we partner with different organizations to ensure that we are bringing that information to women. Because sometimes I was having a conversation with someone from DBSA just to say sometimes that information sharing is not there. So our role, when you look at it from the ecosystem, is we can bring in different partners in the room and to then provide that information. We can bring financial institutions so that women know what is it that they need to do to be able to get access to capital. We bring in accelerators in the room. We bring in marketplaces so that at the end of the day, you have access to funding, you've got access to markets, and you are also creating a network or peers of entrepreneurs who can support each other along the journey and who can learn from each other. And those who are starting up can also learn from those who have gone through the journey. So this is really what we're doing in this program. And as you mentioned, we do have 3 of our finalists from the last cohort, and that's ePharma, Biodiesel, and Molimela, which is actually, Molimela is actually based here in the Northwest, just up the road from where we are. And they actually do have also facilities within Sun City. They're focusing on green economy and waste management and recycling.
Yeah.
Yes.
The TUT.
Oh, yeah, and the TUT. Thanks for reminding me. So we don't just focus on women. So we tend to focus on women and youth because we do, especially when you look at South Africa and you look at the high unemployment rates. I mean, we need to do something. So we are also looking like what are we doing? How are we also helping move the needle? So we have partnerships like with TUT, where we have a program that's focusing on youth entrepreneurship, really looking at that if they're working with the youth, making sure that we bring funders in the room. We also help them. The program also looks at like, how does it help them when youth have got amazing ideas and they are really creating economies for the future. So what we then look at, like, how are we helping to ensure that we are helping them along those journey? So what the program with TUT does is it helps them coach them, look at their businesses, how do they develop them, help them with how can they pitch to funders, and at the end of that program, they actually get to pitch to funders and get a chance to get access to capital to make sure that they can work on their ideas.
So, how are you finding the conference so far, and any closing remarks before we close our session?
I think the feedback, and I'm just talking like from when I've been just engaging with a lot of people and their feedback, and which is also what I find to be true, that this really has been a very meaningful conversations, right? Because you have different people within the ecosystem in the room. You've got policymakers, you've got investors, you've got financial institutions, you've got development financial institutions, you've got entrepreneurs. And what was really important, like we're hearing from entrepreneurs say, these are the challenges, this is what we need, this is where we need support. So it has really been meaningful, and just those conversations, and also the academic piece. There's some of the work that academics have brought in, that is to say, this is the research. And when we are looking at that and looking at what is happening in practice and what the practitioners are doing, and then you're saying, you know what, we are on the right track. Yes, there's lots that we need to do, but at least we are slowly moving towards that. And these conversations that we're helping here is saying, how do we accelerate that closing of the gap? So it really has been an insightful and meaningful conference.
Thank you so much, Precious. We are still in the Financial Inclusion for Women Empowerment live in Sun City.